everyone. That was a high-pitched hi, wasn't it? Hi everyone. I hope there's not too much background noise on this video because I've had to leave the doors and windows open because it's actually getting very hot in here. So do let me know if there's any problems with the sound. Thank you to all of you who are supporting this channel. And I did say to you regarding the twin flame readings I did last week, I did say to you that I would be focusing on, the next reading would be focusing on the DM and how he's feeling towards the DF, and generally just seeing how he is emotionally. This came up in one of my comments, that somebody said to me, you know, I just want to know how he is, you know. And, you know, we often look at how he feels towards people, but we want to look at how he is in himself. So how I'm going to do this reading today is that I'm going to do the first line looking at how he is actually feeling in himself. I'm going to do the second line to see how he's feeling towards his DM. And I'm going to do the third line to see whether or not he intends to take any action. Let's start with seeing how the DM, Spirit, how is the DM feeling at the moment, please? This is a reading for the collective and won't necessarily apply to all DMs, but you just take what resonates. Okay. Oh, we have a card of triumph. How great is that? We have a card of new beginnings. So looks like, and this is the feeling that's coming from all the twin flame readings I've done recently, that it's almost like the DM has turned a corner. It's almost like his awakening is really progressing at high speed now. So let's see what else, please, Spirit. Partnerships and alliances. So he may well be being helped out, but we'll look at it in a minute. I get ahead of myself. Truth. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So do you remember a while ago, we were looking at sort of how the DM was feeling and he was very down. There were things he wanted to sort out. He wasn't looking at things with any clarity. But, you know, here we have triumph, you know. There's a feeling of being uplifted. There's a feeling of that, you know, he's a lot clearer now. He's through the confusion. He feels like he's come out the other side of it. He's feeling a lot stronger, you know. And it's an interesting card, this one, because it's a man on a horse, and it almost sort of feels like, the King of Swords energy. It'd be interesting to see when we do some clarifiers with tarot in a moment, because you know, the King of Swords is all for rushing into situations. And for some reason, today, this card reminds me of the King of Swords. He's got his flag and he wants to come in and you know, feel triumphant and claim what's his. Ooh, I like that. Okay, this DM is ready to make a new beginning. An absolutely new beginning in his life. Remember, at the moment, we're just looking at how he is feeling in himself. He's through the difficult times. He wants to make a new beginning. He's ready for it. And there may well be people around him who are helping him, you know, supporting him, helping him in his decision process. You know, I think we've seen for the DM in the last few weeks that, you know, there were times when people were interfering, people were, you know, trying to play with his head a bit. But, you know, here it feels like, you know, this is a real supportive card, you know, the way these hands and sort of clutching each other. And it feels like he's being helped in this situation. So if he's in a situation where, you know, there's still a few bits that need to be sorted, he's being helped with this, and I do feel that he is seeking some sort of particular help in order to deal with emotional issues. If you haven't seen the message from the DM post I did last week, I had this urgent sort of feel that I needed to do that reading. I woke up with that in my head, and you know, I think that was the first message from the DM reading I've done. But if you haven't seen it, you might want to watch that, because that kind of fits in with what we're seeing here. in that reading, it talks about him. Sorry, this is why, like when somebody tells you the sort of ending of a film before it happens, but I'm not going to go there. But it basically supports what we're seeing here. So about him getting some sort of help in order to be clear in his mind. And I very much feel that whoever it is that's supporting him or helping him at the moment is helping him to see what the truth of a situation is, but also to speak his truth. Spirit have just said speak his truth, okay? We're seeing this in a lot of readings at the moment, that, you know, the DM is feeling ready to speak his truth. So, you know, interesting today. I know I've been promising you this reading all week, but I actually felt the real need to do it today. And there's just this lovely, fresh, happy, vibrant, pushing forward energy that sits with these cards, and so nice that he's being supported, because it kind of felt for the DM that he was sort of battling things on his own for a while, you know, which really wasn't good, was it? So I'm going to use some different cards in case we get duplications of circumstances, but let's see. So how is the DM feeling towards the DF at the moment, please? How is he feeling towards the DF at the moment? I'm not going to take those, there's too many, Spirit. I sometimes struggle, even though my hands are quite large, I sometimes struggle with this packed deck of cards. They just feel big for some reason. I think there's a lot of cards in it. Right, sorry, Spirit, I'll concentrate. Okay, we have awaiting results. I'm going to pull the cards and then I'm going to go over them all. Oh, wow. We have reach out. We have open up. And we have nurture. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Am I excited or what? Listen, guys. Listen, ladies. Listen, you know, whatever terminology applies to you. Listen. So this line is about how the DM is feeling towards the DF. He knows, DF, that you're awaiting some sort of decision here. You know, for some of you who've been separated for a while or even for a short time, you know, if he's not been in contact, for example, he knows you're awaiting some sort of decision. You're awaiting for him to have clarity. You're awaiting him to sort of see the truth of a situation, literally. So, but he's aware of that, you know, and that is a major step forward. You know, there's been times in the past where the DM has felt very sort of self-focused as he's tried to go through his awakening. And, you know, here we see him actually thinking about us, you know, about the DFs in his life. And look at this fabulous card. He wants to reach out, you know. And he wants to open up. Sorry, I hesitated because something's just, you know, glaringly come at me. So, but I'm going to put that on hold and come to it in a minute. Yeah, look at these fabulous cards. He wants to reach out to his DF. He wants to open up. This is where we get the speaking the truth. He wants to open up here, you know, and he wants to nurture his DF. You know, some of the DMs may feel that they've got an apology to give. Some of the DMs may just feel that he wants to put the past behind him and he wants to, I went from plural to single then, but don't worry about it. I get wrapped up in the moment. But no, he may feel, you know, the DM may feel that, you know, he's got some nurturing to do, some making up to do, some looking after his DF to come in as the emperor and really wrap his arms around his empress. You know, that is the feeling that I'm getting from this card. But what occurred to me earlier when I hesitated was that, you know, in this line here, we have triumph and awaiting results, you know. So the hidden message here is that the DM wants you to know that there's going to be a good result, Okay, so while you're waiting, and he knows you're waiting, he wants to tell you that, you know, it's going to be a good result. So there's no need to stress the F. You know, carry on doing what you're doing. You know, let the universe handle it. Let spirit handle it. You know, it's a timing issue, as always. But, you know, there is going to be a good result here. And, you know, the new beginning that he wants involves you, DF, because here he is reaching out to you. That is what he wants to do. That's what he feels at the moment. And, you know, this partnership, didn't I say earlier that this partnership, you know, one of the things they were doing was encouraging him to look at the truth of a situation and to actually speak his truth. And here we have him opening up. So, you know, through the discussions he's had with whoever this person or people are that's supporting him and helping him, he knows that not only does he want to reach out, but he knows that there's no point reaching out if he hasn't got something substantial to say. And here he is opening up to you, DF. How perfect is this? Absolutely perfect, you know? And he knows the truth of this situation. You know, he knows who he's got loving feelings towards. He knows that he wants to nurture you, you know? He knows. Enough said. He knows, you know? So, and, you know, for the DMs as well, you know, he may come in with a strong masculine energy, but actually he knows that you're the person that can nurture him too. There's been a huge awakening in the DMs recently, you know? And I, you know, as a DF myself, I have waited so long. Trust me, I'm not even going to go there, but trust me, I have waited so long. And, you know, to see these positive cards and these positive thoughts from the DM at this stage is just, well, bordering on the overwhelming, frankly. No, we mustn't, because that came up in the reading as well. A reading I did the other day about, you know, DFs and not wanting you to become overwhelmed by a situation, because the last thing we need after all this time, for those of you DFs who've been waiting for your DM to step forward, the last thing we need is as he steps forward, you sort of freak out and step away. You know, the old runner-chaser paradox. We actually have, you know, a danger of, and this happens, you know, quite often, as I see, that, you know, it becomes such a shock and so overwhelming that sometimes the chaser, you know, and let's say, for example, in this relationship, the chaser was the DF, you know, the DM is the runner. If you've been in that situation, then, you know, when the DM swaps roles and becomes the chaser, it can have a knock-on effect to the DF runs. We don't want you to run. Seriously. Spirit are laughing in my ear. Oh, how funny. Well, it's not funny really, is it? Because it's all the intensity of this relationship. But they are running, and so they are laughing. And so am I. Before we move on to possible actions, I want to put some tarot in the middle of some of these cards. I've not done this before, but I feel this is what I'm being drawn to do because there's such direct connections in these two lines. We want to see what will draw this together. What will draw this together, please? Not the actions at the moment, Spirit. We're going to do another row. But what will draw these two situations together, this triumph and the results? Whoops. I need to take this one, but I need to take that one too. Are you giving me both? Okay, they want me to take two. That's going to ruin my display. I'm in a very funny mood today, have you noticed? I just want to laugh. It's because I'm happy, because I see these happy cards. Yes, yes, Spirit, yes. Thank you for your hard work, Spirit, in this situation. Okay, I digress. So, We have triumph and we have awaiting results. Okay. We have a DM who is knowing which path he wants to go down. We know that from the rest of the reading. We know that he's made his decision. We know that he wants to rush in and be triumphant. But, you know, as the DM does from time to time, we see him 1 minute wanting to rush in, and then this hesitance comes in. He knows the path he needs to go down. He's got the cat showing him which path to go down. But there's just that moment of hesitance where he thinks, shall I do it now? Am I ready? What will she say? What's going to happen? You know, that sort of energy. So, and we have seen that. That is a theme that has run through the DM readings for quite a while now. I'm just going to put that there because there's another card with it. We have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork. So again, he's got people helping him to maneuver through whatever situation he's in. Maybe he's having to leave a situation in order to move towards you, DF. And, you know, he's even got, I mean, look at this. He's getting help because he has the cat and he has the, I don't even know what that is. I think it's a lizard, but it's a very strange colour for a lizard. If anybody can enlighten me as to what this creature is down here, please let me know. But they're showing him the way. And equally, there's teamwork going on here to reach a goal. So I think there's perhaps still a bit of work to be done. You know, he knows that he's got to be measured in his approach because, you know, some of the DFs they've been waiting a long time. And so he knows he's got to get this right. And this is what came up in the message reading earlier in the week, that, you know, he doesn't want to mess this up. So, you know, maybe he's spending time discussing this with, it could even be friends and family. That may not be his best option, but it could be. Or it could be someone professional, you know, or someone who hasn't got, you know, an interest in this situation themselves, you know, or their own agenda, more to the point. So let's have a look and see what Spirit gives us for new beginnings and reach out. What do we have for new beginnings and reach out, Spirit? Yeah, he's trying to get things straight, you know. He feels like he's had a situation to juggle with, you know. He's had to get balance here because, you know, again, it's a cycle of completion. Look at this, it's a figure 8. So it's a completion of something. But he actually knows that, again, it's this feeling of having to get it right, having to have a balanced approach. He wants to reach out to you, but he wants it to be right because he knows that this whole new beginning that he's envisaged is actually at stake here. You know, and in a way, he's making it more of an issue than it needs to be. Yes, he needs to be measured in his approach, but I think that's only fair. But this is about him, you know, perhaps they've just said overthinking. So yes, you know, but he is trying to get a sense of balance before he reaches out. He's got to be clear. If you notice, we have, 1 second, Spirit, please. If you notice, we have 2 pentacles in that card. Let me pick it up again because I don't know how clear you can see it. We have 2 pentacles in that card, you know, so maybe there's a financial, maybe he's trying to balance his finances in order to be able to reach out to you. Because it's about how he feels. You know, you may say to your DM, do you know what, DM? I don't mind living in a tent with you as long as you come to me. But from his perspective, he wants to be in a more stable position to offer you what he thinks you deserve, DF. They gave me another card. Yeah, you see, this is what I just said, wasn't it? I said they've just said the word overthinking, and look at this, self-imprisonment, basically. You know, keeping himself in a mindset. No, I'm going to reword that because he's not keeping himself because he is moving forward. But, you know, there are moments when he has this mindset where he sort of feels a bit trapped. He's not quite sure how to step forward, not quite sure what to do. So he keeps himself in this negative, sorry about the alarms in the background. They'll be gone in a second. He keeps himself in this negative mindset, you know, for that moment in time and thinks, oh, you know, I don't know that I've quite got my finances balanced, and I don't know that she'll accept what I can offer her, and you know, etc., etc. By the way, as I always say, you know, regarding the hers and the hims and the she's and the he's, take it as it resonates for you. We all have divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy within all of us. So, you know, please don't think I'm just talking he and she relationships. It's just easier for me to verbalize it that way. Yeah. Okay. So what can you tell us about this partnership and alliance, please? Yeah, I mean, this, you know, whoever it is that he is being supported by, that DM is being supported by, and talking through these issues, because I do get the feeling he's having really deep conversations with somebody. It may be more than one person, but I get a strong feeling of one person. And, you know, whoever that is that's supporting him is saying to him, you know, okay, you may have life set up as you are, you know, you may have felt quite sort of like you've achieved things, and you may feel that, you know, you thought that where you are right now was where you wanted to be, but actually if you're not happy, pack up your bag and walk, you know, walk from this situation, because you deserve to be happy, DM. So, you know, he's getting some solid advice there from, you know, somebody that is helping him find what it is he truly wants. And, you know, they're saying to him, don't be afraid to actually step forward, because, you know, if you're not happy, even if you have been successful, if you're not happy, then, you know, go and find your happiness, DM. I'm going to pull another card, because we've had two for all the others, so I'm just being, you know, balanced. Balanced. Is it this one, Spirit? No. They've just said take it if you want. That doesn't fill me with confidence. So, why do we have partnerships and why do we have open up? Is there anything else you can tell us? Yeah, again, a beginning of a loving opportunity here. You know, he knows that he wants to walk towards love. You know, here he is walking away from his situation that he thought was stable and answering all his, you know, needs. And he's realised through this whole awakening process that he needs to walk towards his love. This is the beginning of, you know, a loving situation here. So he's going to walk in search of true love. That's what he's going to do from his current situation. So if your DM has been working away, or if your DM has been, you know, just preoccupied or in another relationship, for example, you know, he's making the decision to walk towards true love, which is you, DF. This is why we've got this amazing set of cards here. So why do we have truth and nurture, please? Can we have two, Spirit? Yeah, we have the Page of Cups. Again, a Cups energy, lovely energy there. You know, he feels... Sorry, Spirit are very funny today. And they've just said he feels like an amateur. I was going to say, you know, he's discovered his truth. He's, you know, really looking... Spirit, please. He's actually really looking at his truth now. He knows deep inside, but it's about finding his path forward, you know? There's a creative energy coming from this DM, definitely. This is why we have the Page of Cups here. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he wants to come in with this lovely creativity and sweep you off your feet, DF. But in actual fact, you know, he may need a bit more, they've just said experience. Yeah, he may need a bit more experience, but, you know, oh dear me. It's actually about his level of confidence, this. You know, he's maybe feeling that he hasn't quite yet got the skills he needs, and it's a similar energy to this Pentacles energy where he feels he hasn't quite got things as stable as he wants. You know, it's a confidence issue. And, you know, this partnership, this person that he is actually talking this through with, is helping him to see the truth of the situation, and may well be saying to him, you know, this is about your level of confidence. You know, what have you got to lose? Well, he knows what he's got to lose, and that is what's holding him back, because, you know, he's lacking the confidence that you'll accept him, basically. So why do we have truth and nurture? One more, please, Spirit. One more, please. One more, please. And then we're going to go into what is his action that he's actually going to take. Oh, look at this. I'm so loving this reading. I'm so excited. I can't get the cards out of my hand. There we go. So we have truth, we have nurture, we have his sort of slightly childlike sort of attitude that he's enthusiastic and he just wants, he's like I always think this is like puppy energy, but it's that excitement, that sort of feeling that he wants to come in, you know, but he knows this is a significant partnership, and so this is why he's lacked confidence slightly, because he wants to come in, give you the best, he wants to nurture you, he knows that you're his you know, divine counterpart. You know, he's had this huge awakening, this realization, and so, you know, this is why he's been lacking confidence, because he feels he's got a huge amount to lose, because here you are as the lovers, you are his divine counterpart, as I just said, you know. So I'm going to put the tarot there just for a second, because what I want to do is actually do a row regarding what his actions are that he is likely to take. I'm just trying to get a feel of cards to see what Spirit want us to take. Spirit, which cards are we using? They want me to use Energy Oracle, which is interesting. I only say it's interesting because I'm in really bright, colourful mode today, and I thought we'd pick a more colourful deck, but evidently not. We're going with Energy Oracle, which is a lovely deck with lovely graphics, but maybe I'm feeling the childlike creativity from this reading from the Page of Cups energy, because I was thinking bright colours, much as I love this deck. Oh dear, seriously. Right, what will be the action that the DM will actually take, please, in the next week or so? Do we know if there's a week or so? Spirit, 2 weeks. Okay, they're saying 2 weeks for some reason. So let's see if there's going to be any action within the next 2 weeks. Wow. So we have caring connections. They want to take this one too. We have appreciation. We have contract. And we have woman holding a coin. Okay. Interesting here. Because, you know... Sorry, wait a second. Okay. Okay, so he's going to be fine-tuning his plans, you know. I'd love to say, you know, a week on Tuesday you're going to get an email, but sadly Spirit aren't that exact with their timings, and they've just said, hey, but they're very funny today. But we have him really feeling the connection with you. You know, we have caring connections. He wants to come forward and he wants to show you how much he appreciates you. And this is why he's saying that he wants to make sure he's in the right place before he comes forward, before he reaches out. You know, he knows that you care about him, and he wants you to know, as we said before, that there's going to be a good result here. But, you know, he's really feeling this caring connection in the next 2 weeks. He feels it anyway, but I think it's going to become, you know, even stronger in the next 2 weeks as he's making plans as to how he can step forward. But, you know, he really wants you to know how much he appreciates you, DF, because, you know, I think there may be some of you that have felt neglected, and he knows that. He knows you've been waiting, and he's not, I don't mean that in an arrogant way that he's sort of saying, oh yeah, you know, the DF will wait for me. It doesn't feel arrogant. He's had things to sort out, and I think a lot of us as DFs went through our awakening, or still going through our awakening, you know, in the early part of this year, the end of 2019, but for him, he's gone through it much more recently. So, you know, he knows that you've waited. He knows that maybe in the past, things haven't been as you've wanted. And he wants you to know how much he really appreciates you. So he's definitely going to be thinking this. Whether he's going to actually make contact at this moment, I'm not sure. We're going to clarify in a moment. But you know, here we have this lady holding a flower. Here we have, you know, the man having given flowers to this lady here. He really wants to reach out to you with a loving energy. As I say, we don't know that he's going to at this moment in time, but we're going to have a look in a moment. He wants to offer you something very stable. This is what he wants to talk to you about, and this is why he's being clear about it. You know, this is a contract. Again, we have this balance. He wants to bring balance back into your relationship. But he wants he wants to be in a position where he's offering you something very stable. Okay? This is what he wants to talk to you about. And this is what he's already talking through with this person who's supporting him. He's getting some good advice. This is what makes me wonder whether or not it's professional advice for some of the DMs. Because, you know, he does want to show you that he loves you, show you that he really appreciates you, and he wants to offer you something very stable. Now, this could be a legal contract. It could be, I'm going to hesitate to say proposal, but yeah, I'll say it. But it's not a strong feeling I'm getting. I think it's more about him stepping forward to discuss the future with you, to see if the loving energy that you have, that he feels for you, to see if you feel the same, Divine Feminine, you know, to see if you can begin this loving relationship in the 3D, because he recognizes it is totally there in the 5D. Okay, so, you know, this is what his intention is, that his intention is to show you the loving connection, to show his appreciation, and to have this discussion regarding this contract. What we have here is the woman holding the coin, and I do want to clarify that further because I don't want to go off on a tangent. I'm not getting a clear message from this card at the moment. Spirit, what is the clear message here? Right, okay. He wants to make sure that you're in a stable position. And I don't mean he's trying to seek you out to see if you've got money. I don't mean that at all. What I'm saying is that as part of his nurturing you, he wants to look after you and make sure that you're secure, you're stable, and, you know, it's part of his nurturing. This is why he's making sure that he's in a balanced financial position. And it may be that this isn't totally a work card, but it may be that along the way he's completing some work contracts, you know, in order to be able to be in a better position to step forward, because he wants to, this is part of his nurturing. And he's going to be honest with you about his situation with the Truth card here. He's going to be honest with you about why he didn't feel able to step forward before, you know. Very powerful movement here. Right, I'm going to use the tarot. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. It must be nearly tea time. I'm going to use the tarot just to see if there's some clarifiers here. Do we want tarot yet? Okay, everyone, I had to, apologies for the camera moving. I have to pause right here because I actually went ahead and finished this reading. I think I had one more card to pull and realised that the camera had stopped recording. So as you will see, there are more cards out than there were a second ago. That's simply because I completed, as I say, nearly the reading and then realised it had stopped recording. I don't know what's going on. It was just after I said, I think I need tea, or something like that. So I think Spirit took me at my word and cut off my camera. They didn't tell me to stop actually speaking. That's the trouble. So I have already pulled the tarot here as clarifiers, and I will go back over what I've already said that wasn't recorded. So that is why there's the last few cards out here. So let's get going. So I had just been talking about this particular card, the woman holding the coin, and how your DM wants to bring in your stability, your security. He wants to, you know, make sure you're okay, basically. And then I decided, I think the previous video ended with me saying, shall we use tarot? Well, yes, Spirit wanted us to use tarot, so we clarified again. So along with the caring connections, we got the Justice card, you know, and I very much got the feeling that the DM wants you to wants to actually come in and put a situation right. You know, it may simply be that you've been separate. It may be that something's happened in the past and he feels that he has to apologise, or it may simply be that, you know, he knows you've been waiting, maybe for some of you, and you know he feels the need to acknowledge this relationship in the 3D and put it right, because he's known about his connection with you for a very long time on a 5D level. I'm just going to move the camera slightly. Okay, on a 5D level, you know, he's known about it, but he actually wants to come in and actually you know, step up basically to make this happen in the 3D. So this is his intention. I can't remember whether I talked about timings prior to pulling these clarifiers or not. So briefly, I will just say that Spirit, you know, they did start this off by saying within the next 2 weeks, but timings are always very, very hit and miss because Spirit don't always work to our timings. So they will bring it in divine timing, but this is looking like the action that the DM is intending to take. So alongside appreciation, he wants to make you happy, you know? He wants to come in, he wants the two of you to be happy together, you know? He wants the sun to shine, he wants you to feel truly appreciated. It's almost like he wants to show you off to the world. He wants to acknowledge you, appreciate you, to make you feel really, really good, you know? That is his intention. Which is lovely, let's be honest. And then we had, alongside the contract card, we had the Fool. And the Fool card is all about taking a leap of faith. And as we said before, you know, he's being encouraged by this person to come in and to open up, you know, and to see if you are feeling in the same loving energy still as, you know, whether you still want him in the 3D, because he wants to offer something stable here. But he wants to know, are you ready? And this is a discussion he wants to have. Are you ready, DF, or do you still want it? You know, if you've been waiting a while, or if things have happened that have been rocky between you, he wants to know whether you want this new start or not. Because, you know, there's a leap of faith here for both of you. And, you know, as we all know in twin flame relationships, there's such an intensity with the emotions between you that, you know, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel scary at times. And this is why he's wanting to know if you feel like he does. And this is the discussion, which is so overdue. It is amazing that this is now his intention. So then with the woman holding the coin, we had the Tower card. Now, I went into this in great detail in the bit that didn't record, but I'm going to say to you now, I do not read this Tower card in present energy as if there's going to be a Tower moment. I think there's been a lot of Tower moments in twin flame readings for quite a while now, and it was really the breaking down of old thought processes, the breaking down of, you know, different actions that have been taken, etc., etc. You know, it may have been breaking down of other relationships for both you and the DM, you know. But as we see it here, I feel very strongly, because we have this nurture card here and him recognizing that you are his divine counterpart. Remember I said before when we had the woman holding the coin that he wants to come in and offer you something stable. He wants to make you feel secure again. Now, yes, she's holding a coin, so he may sort of show his nurturing by offering you something materialistically. I don't know, you'll know which one's right. And he wants to come in and offer you something of substance, but he also, the message behind it is, some of these DMs are worried about how you are, DF. They're worried about whether you're feeling emotionally unsettled, because they're feeling it. So if they're feeling it and they've learned about twin flames maybe, or they recognise your connection, or someone has helped them to understand, then they're going to be worried about how you are, you know? And this is the feeling I'm getting from the Tower card. This is about the DM feeling that he wants to rebuild your tower. He wants to put you back in a stable position where you're feeling emotionally protected, secure, protected. You know what I mean. Let's not go off on one. For all the feminists out there, you know what I mean. You know, in his mind, you know, he's coming in with masculine energy, but he wants to make sure you're okay. He wants to help rebuild the tower if you're not, you know. And this is the nurturing energy that we're seeing. Okay, so they were the clarifying tarots, and then Spirit had said to me that, you know, once I'd pulled the tarot, they wanted me to use another deck, but it really is, as I tend to do at the end of my readings, is to pull 2 or 3 to bring a reading together to get an overall message. So I went on to the Love Oracle. So your DM is feeling, and this is why he's taken so long to step forward, that this is a win or lose situation. This is why this discussion is so important, and this is why he's been asking for advice. He can't bear to lose you at this stage because he's gone through such a big awakening, which is why he wants to step forward in the right, you know, when he's feeling totally ready and he knows exactly what he's going to say to you. He feels it's very much a win or lose situation. So, you know, there's an intensity again with him moving this into the 3D. Then we had simply love. He knows he loves you, DF. He's absolutely clear about it. And this is why it's so important. This is why it's such a win or lose situation for him. Because now he's finally woken up and realised this connection and realised what he wants and realises what his intentions are, you know. He knows it's huge, you know. He feels it. So, and, you know, it's so important to him. He wants to step into the 3D with you, strengthen these bonds in the 3D, you know. He wants to bring it together. So if in the past you had like well, it can never be casual with the DM, to be honest, or a DF. It can never be casual because it's so divinely linked. But, you know, if you had a brief relationship before, perhaps, you know, he doesn't want you to view it like that. He wants to have a much deeper connection with you. Let's do one more, please. I never like having 3 cards. Let's have one more, please. And that's why we needed the 4th one, you know. what else can I say, really? You know, the strong, loving connections. He wants to manifest what is important here and between you, because you're so powerful together. You are so powerful together. You know, you can manifest this situation to be whatever you want it to be. Wow, powerful stuff. Amazingly powerful stuff. What a fantastic reading today. Please let me know how you felt about this reading. I love the fact that it's more positive, but you know, as I always say, it could resonate with your situation or it may not. So, you know, feel it, take from it what you will, use your intuition, see how it fits with you. Thank you for putting up with the sort of bit in the middle that, yeah, well, hopefully you won't notice once I've edited. But yeah, please, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please join us on the rest of this journey, because it looks like the twin flame journeys are coming to really exciting places, a lot of them. So, you know, please join us on that journey. And yeah, if you like the video, please click like. And I will be doing at the weekend, where are we now? We're Thursday now. I always do a karmic read for those DMs that are in a karmic relationship. So, well, I do it about the DM that's in a karmic relationship, let me be clear. So DFs, if you're in that sort of situation, we've got a lot of movement going on in the collective I'm reading for over there. So please make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss that on Sunday. And if I get messages from the DM in between, I might do some others too. But we'll see. They may wait till next week, but we'll see. As I say, if you subscribe and click the notification bell, you'll know when the new ones are out anyway. Okay, got to leave you there because this is turning into a mega long video. And yeah, let me know how you feel, DFs. And, you know, I will speak to you all really, really soon. Take care.